Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Gaurav Sharma and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. As the world fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of caution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. The headlines. India administers over 20 million COVID-19 vaccine doses within 50 days of launch of nationwide vaccination campaign. Guyana PM thanks India for providing COVID-19 vaccines. India and Germany celebrate 70 years of partnership. Indian naval ships Sumedha and Kulish arrive in Bangladesh ahead of the Swarnim Vijay Varsh celebrations to mark the Indo-Bangladeshi friendship. Pope Francis visits Iraqi city of Mosul. UN describes the visit as a symbol of hope. Indian wrestler Vinesh Fogart wins her second gold in Matteo Pellicon ranking series event, reclaims top rank in her 53 kg category. And PV Sindhu loses to Carolina Marin of Spain in the title clash of the Swiss Open badminton tournament at Basel. India has crossed yet another significant milestone of administering over 20 million COVID-19 vaccine doses within a short span of time. With over 1.42 million doses being given in the last 24 hours, the country has successfully accomplished administration of nearly 20.092 million COVID-19 vaccine doses till this morning. India is one of the fastest countries in the world to achieve these figures in a short span of time. The nation commenced the largest vaccination drive in the world on the 16th of January this year with the vaccination of healthcare workers. Under the Vaccine Maitri initiative of the Government of India, 2 more nations received the Made in India COVID-19 vaccines on Sunday. Planes carrying the consignments of vaccine doses landed in Guyana and Ethiopia. Guyana's PM retired Brigadier Mark Phillips thanked India for the generosity of sending 80,000 doses of India-made vaccines.
On behalf of President Dr. Mohamed Yusuf Ali, government and people of Guyana, I wish to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government and people of India for the generous donation, the vaccines to we the people of Guyana. This, as you know, will go a far way in enabling us to vaccinate our people, starting with our medical workers who we deemed as our frontline workers.
Vice President of India M. Venkaiah Naidu on Sunday said that resilience, research and reinvention helped India become a torchbearer in the global fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Addressing the first graduation day ceremony of the ESIC Medical College in New Delhi, the Vice President credited the timely and decisive measures by doctors, scientists and policymakers for containing the spread of the virus. He lauded the entire medical fraternity from doctors to nurses, paramedical staff and sanitary workers, technicians and ASHA workers in villages who as Team India came together as one to fight the pandemic. Now let's take a look at coronavirus updates from around the world.
The U.S. Senate on Sunday passed the $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan after a 12-hour-long discussion over the bill. The relief package, piloted by President Joe Biden, will provide $1,400 in direct payments to millions of Americans. Billions of dollars for vaccine distribution and funds to help reopen schools and colleges are also part of the package. The vote was 50-49 on a party line vote. This was the first legislative victory of the Democrats after gaining majority in the Senate. This was the first legislative victory of the Democrats after gaining majority at the Senate. The House will vote on Tuesday on the bill to approve changes made in the Senate, and then it will go to President Biden to be signed into law. The National Health Service NHS in England has invited people aged 56 to 59 to book COVID-19 vaccinations in the coming week. Britain's medical regulator on Thursday said it would fast-track vaccines for coronavirus variants. It added that makers of already authorized shots would not need new lengthy clinical trials to prove their adapted vaccines work. France extended weekend lockdown to northern region on Saturday. According to reports, the lockdown extension was done to facilitate health officials to step up a nationwide vaccination campaign. Prime Minister Jean Castex promised a major vaccine push-out in March and April on Saturday. On Saturday, Mali became the first West African country in Central Sahel to receive COVAX-funded vaccines. 396,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine landed in Bamako. In Paraguay, President Mario Abdo Benitez has asked all cabinet ministers to resign following clashes between demonstrators and police at protests against the government's handling of the coronavirus crisis. According to reports, the country's communications minister, Juan Manuel Brunetti, said on Saturday the president has asked all the members of the cabinet to give up their positions. Sri Lanka received the first batch of COVID-19 vaccines from the COVAX facility on Sunday. The delivery of 264,000 doses is part of the first wave of arrivals that will be culminating in 1,440,000 doses arriving through May. The additional doses to cover 20% of Sri Lanka's population will arrive in the second half of 2021. Meanwhile, China has said that it is prepared to discuss with other countries procedures for mutual recognition of COVID-19 vaccinations. China's State Councillor Wang Yi on Sunday also said that it is ready to work with the International Olympic Committee to help provide vaccines to Olympic athletes. Reshma Tiwari for World News, All India Radio.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
3 steps to stay protected and stay safe from COVID-19. Wear face mask, 2 gaz ki duri to maintain social distancing, maintain hand and face hygiene.
Exactly 70 years ago on this date, the 7th of March 1951, India and the Federal Republic of Germany established diplomatic relations. The partnership has grown leaps and bounds into a strategic partnership today. The India-Germany relations are underlined by strong bonds of friendship, people-to-people ties, shared values, cultural connectivity, and a synergistic view for the global order. In today's Hotspots section, we are taking a closer look at this enduring partnership between India and Germany.
On the occasion of the 70th anniversary of India-Germany diplomatic relations, the External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, and German Federal Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Heiko Maas, exchanged special messages for the peoples of the two countries. In his message, Dr. Jaishankar commented on the India-Germany strategic partnership, which enters its 20th year in 2021.
The India-Germany strategic partnership, which is stepping into its 20th year in 2021, rests on an ever-expanding trade and investment relationship besides a strong developmental partnership. Our collaboration in science and technology and education is reflected in the high degree of mobility of students between India and Germany. Indian technologies today enjoy a significant presence in Germany, while German technology and automobile companies have invested significantly in India.
The India-Germany partnership has blossomed and was taken to new heights under the leadership of Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel. Dr. Jaishankar extends gratitude to Ms. Merkel on the same.
I wish to take this opportunity to recognize the high degree of commitment that Chancellor Merkel has shown to the India-Germany bilateral relationship. Under her leadership, we were able to establish the unique mechanism of the intergovernmental consultations, which has ensured a whole of the government approach to this strategic partnership. Her 16 years in office has given stability and a positive direction to our bilateral relationship, and for that, we will always be grateful to her.
Dr. Jaishankar also commented on the growing convergence between India's vision for the Indo-Pacific and Germany's vision for the region.
India welcomes and shares this German vision for the Indo-Pacific. We must continue to enhance the level and quality of our strategic engagement to face the challenges of the post-pandemic global order.
Dr. Jaishankar's counterpart from Germany, Mr. Heiko Maas, also shared a special message to mark the occasion. In his message, Mr. Maas spoke about the flourishing tourism between the two countries. He said that before the coronavirus pandemic, more number of tourists to India came from Germany than any other country in Europe. He added that based on such human connections, Germany seeks to forge an even closer partnership with India. Speaking exclusively to All India Radio, German ambassador to India, Mr. Walter Lindner, in a candid conversation, spoke about the cultural connect between the two nations.
People like Max Müller and others who were translating holy scripts of the Hindu religion were already very active. If you go through the country and see other languages, if you take the Kannada language, the first grammar was written down by a German linguist. So I don't know why the Germans like this linguistic speciality so much. They did it also in Latin American countries, but especially in India. So there is a kind of an old attraction from Germany towards India. Hermann Hesse, his Siddhartha, and literature, and even Bollywood. And my generation, who grew up in the hippie generation, we flocked into India in a search of spiritual enlightenment. Not everything was realistic. Something was very naive, expecting under every banyan tree a sadhu sitting meditating. It's maybe not the case in India, but still we were thinking this is a country where people not only look at the material side of life, but also on the spiritual side of life. What is behind this life? What is after death? What is before death? These kind of deep running questions you can ask everyone here, every rickshaw puller, and he will come up with a discussion on it, and he has a position on it. So this kind of, as he said, beyond economic ties, beyond political ties and international relations ties, is a people-to-people connect which is there.
Mr. Lindner, who started out as a musician, throws new light on diplomacy and his idea of the modern diplomat.
Being an ambassador, one would expect you sit there in Delhi in a nice residence, which we do right now, of course, and go to cocktails and you meet all the important people and very important conversations every day. Now, my take on modern diplomacy is a bit different. We have to be out there. We have to connect to the people, because if Angela Merkel comes to me and asks me, okay, what do the Indians think about this and this and that? I would not know it if I would sit my whole day in my office. But I have to talk to the rickshaw puller, to the whoever is out there, to the fisherman in Cochin the other day, to talk, okay, what's your take of life? How is your situation? The other day I was in Salt Lake, what is it called, in Rajasthan. Samban, to the women and the men who work there since generations digging salt. What's your take of it? What do you expect of life? What do you think? This is important to see, because only then you know what's the DNA of a country. And if Merkel, my chancellor, asks me what do the Indians think, then I can tell you know what? My take is that Indians tend to do this and think that on that matter and on that matter. It's not enough to talk to politicians or to members of parliament. As important as it is, don't get me wrong, but my take is always also to be out there. I did it ever I was ambassador. I went out and you saw me more in the markets. You go to the onion market, just to see what is happening out there. It's such a colorful life in India, and with good things and of course with bad things. I mean, bad things happen in every country. Poverty, challenges, let me say. No country is perfect, so also India. So I want to see where are the challenges, what can we do to help, and that's my profession.
The German ambassador to India, while exalting the rich Indian heritage, urged Indians to value it and not take it for granted.
There's a lot of attraction to Indian literature. White Tiger, and there's so many books. I could even, the Suitable Boy, and so many books are bestsellers in Germany. So they know about it, and so it's not the same with many other countries, but the Indian literature, the Indian culture as such is so deep and so versatile that every German, I think, or most of the Germans want to come here and see it with their own eyes and want to travel. It's not that easy, and of COVID times, of course not, but it is all interconnected. And the tourism which comes here, we have 300,000 tourists every year, not in COVID times, of course, and they come here to see the incredible variety of treasures in this country. And that's the India I love, and I know since 50 years, the India of cultural diversity. You can come from the Taj Mahal, which is Mughal, you go to Madurai and you see the Hindu, and then you go to Ranakpur and see the Jain temple, and then you go to the Jewish synagogue in Mumbai, and you go to a wonderful church in Goa. You have all this at the same time. So this is something which is cultural tolerance and coexistence of these different cultures in one country. It's a continent. So this is a never-ending treasure. Maybe not every Indian knows that because you are used to it. You live in the country. That's why you take things for granted. Don't take it for granted, because this is something very unique which you only find in India. This variety of enormous, it's an endless source of cultural heritage.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi said on Sunday that China and India are each other's friends and partners and not threats or rivals. The two sides need to help each other succeed and should intensify cooperation. However, he did not say anything about the next phase of disengagement at other friction points after the disengagement at Pangong Tso. Wang was replying to the media queries at his annual press briefing in Beijing on the sidelines of the ongoing annual session of the National People's Congress. He said it is important that the two sides manage border dispute properly and at the same time expand and enhance cooperation to create enabling conditions for the settlement of the issue. He added, returning to peaceful negotiation to settle the border dispute is the right way forward. India has been maintaining that full disengagement and de-escalation at various friction points along the LAC would provide conditions for the progress of the bilateral relations. India's ambassador to China, Vikram Mishri, met Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Luo Zhaohui on Friday in Beijing. He emphasized the importance of completing disengagement in the remaining areas. Both the foreign ministers also spoke to each other on the phone on the 25th of February in this regard.
Indian naval ships Sumedha, an indigenously built offshore patrol vessel, and Kulish, an indigenously built guided missile corvette, will make a port of call at the historic port town of Mongla in Bangladesh from Monday till Wednesday. The event marks the commemoration of the ongoing Swarnim Vijay Varsh and the historic Indo-Bangladeshi friendship. This is the first time that any Indian naval ship is visiting the port of Mongla in Bangladesh. The visit is aimed at paying homage to the Bangladeshi and Indian combatants and citizens who laid down their lives during the Liberation War of 1971. It also reiterates India's firm resolve and commitment to maintain peace, stability and good order in the region. The commanding officers of the ships will call on the senior Bangladesh Navy hierarchy to reaffirm the Indian Navy's solidarity and partnership with the Bangladesh Navy. Following all COVID-19 protocols, the ship's crew will also participate in professional and cultural exchanges. They will also take part in friendly sports fixtures with their counterparts in the Bangladesh Navy, further enhancing synergy between the two navies. Bangladesh has announced the names of 9 individuals and 1 organization for conferring the Independence Award, the highest civilian award of Bangladesh for the year 2021. 4 individuals have been selected posthumously for the award under the category of freedom fighters for their contribution to the Liberation War of Bangladesh. These include AKM Bazlur Rahman, Ehsanullah Master, Brigadier General Khurshid-uddin Ahmad and Akhtar Usman Chaudhry Babu. Dr. Mridmay Guha Neogi has been selected for his contribution to science and technology. Mahadev Saha will be honored with the award for literature, while Ataur Rahman and Ghazi Mazharul Anwar will get the award for their contribution in the field of culture. Dr. M. Amzad Hussain has been nominated for the award for social and public service. In the category of organizations, the Bangladesh Agriculture Research Council has been nominated for research and training. The award has been given since 1977 ahead of the Independence Day of Bangladesh. The recipients of the award get a gold medal and a cash reward of 5 lakh taka.
Pope Francis arrived in the Iraqi city of Mosul on Sunday as part of a 4-day trip focused on supporting Iraq's Christian community. Earlier in the day, the Pope visited the northern Iraqi city of Kurakosh. Much of Kurakosh was destroyed during the jihadist occupation between 2014 to 2016. 4 years after the city was liberated during the Battle of Mosul, only half of the city's population has returned. UNESCO in a statement said that the Pope's arrival will come as a message of peace and unity supported on a pillar of diversity. Switzerland voted on Sunday on whether to ban full facial coverings in public places. The referendum comes after years of debate following similar bans in other European countries such as France, Belgium and the Netherlands. Switzerland operates a system of direct democracy. Any topic can be put to a national vote as long as it gathers 1 lakh signatures in the country of 8.6 million people. Polls had indicated that a slim majority supports the move, according to the reports. To pass, initiatives require support from a majority of voters nationwide and from a majority of federal Switzerland's 26 cantons, 6 of which count as half cantons in votes.
In Somalia, at least 20 people were killed and 30 injured in a suicide car bomb blast just outside a restaurant near the port in capital Mogadishu on Saturday. A car packed with explosives was detonated at the gates of Lul Yemeni restaurant near the port. According to state-owned media, Radio Mogadishu, and witnesses, the blast sent plumes of smoke into the sky and triggered gunfire. The blast caused widespread destruction of several buildings and business centers in the area. No one claimed responsibility for the blast. The Islamist group Al-Shabaab frequently carries out such bombings in Somalia. In Afghanistan, the Taliban attacked an army checkpoint and killed 7 soldiers in the northern Balkh province last night. According to reports, the clash in Balkh's Chimtan district also injured 4 army personnel. Afghan army spokesman Muhammad Hanif Rezai said that during the clash, the military killed 5 Taliban members, including the movement's designated deputy governor for the Jahad Bolak district. Mr. Rezai also said that reinforcements have been sent to the clash site.
The United Nations Crime Congress has kicked off in the Japanese city of Kyoto with thorough antivirus measures in place. The UN Congress on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice is the first large-scale international conference to be held in the country since the outbreak began. On Sunday, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres took part in the opening session online. Mr. Guterres said that disruption caused by the pandemic is presenting the criminals with new opportunities. He called for bolstering international cooperation to pave the way to a world of justice and integrity. Japan's Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide said the pandemic has caused serious problems, including the grave threat of cyber attacks and online fraud. He said the international community needs to work together to strengthen efforts in crimes prevention and ensure a criminal justice system that is fully functional even in such a crisis. Japan's Justice Minister Kamikawa Yoko, who is serving as the chair, called on the participants to discuss how to create a society where the rule of law is upheld. The conference adopted the Kyoto Declaration, which emphasizes the need to promote digitalization of criminal justice systems and develop partnerships with community volunteers. About 160 people, including delegates from 13 countries and UN officials, have been allowed to enter Japan as an exception to the country's coronavirus entry restrictions. In a swift sea-air coordinated operation, Indian Coast Guard on Sunday intercepted 3 Sri Lankan boats with 19 crews suspected of carrying contraband off Minicoy Island in Lakshadweep. Defence spokesperson Trivandrum said that the Indian Coast Guard ship Varaha on patrol off Lakshadweep Island sighted 3 suspicious Sri Lankan boats in the Indian territorial waters on the 5th of March 2021 with unauthorized communication equipment and narcotics.
This is All India Radio giving you the world news. International Women's Day is celebrated on the 8th of March. All India Radio News honors women achievers from diverse fields by bringing their stories. Today we will bring to you the success stories of tribal women. Jigmet Tolma from Igu village of Ladakh recently secured 4th position in the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Dhaka Marathon held in Bangladesh on the 10th of January this year. A report.
Jigmet Dolma from the Ladakh Police Department, an athlete, has participated in many national as well as international marathons. Jigmet Dolma represented India at 13th South Asian Games in 2019. She is also the bronze medal winner twice at Tata Mumbai Marathon in the elite category. Besides, she had won 7 gold medals in the Ladakh Marathon and more than 30 medals in different categories at different venues all across the country. Talking to All India Radio News, she says her message to women is that they should grab all the opportunities available.
मेरा नाम जिग्मेट डोलमा है। मैं लद्दाख पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट का हूँ। मैं बचपन से रनिंग करती थी। मैंने अभी तक 20 गोल्ड मेडल लिए और टोटल 32 मेडल्स लिया। अभी मैं सारी लड़कियों के लिए कहना चाहूँगी कि किसी भी पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए मौका मिलेगा तो छोड़ना मत।
दीक्षा सक्सेना, AIR News, Delhi.
This International Women's Day, AIR News brings you a special 15-minute program, Women on the Move, highlighting the achievements of women in a diverse range of fields.
Tune into the Spotlight on FM Gold 100.1 MHz at 9:15 p.m. on 8th of March to listen to this program highlighting the grit, determination and success of Indian women.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate Maitri Setu between India and Bangladesh on Tuesday noon through video conferencing. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple infrastructure projects in Tripura during the event. The bridge Maitri Setu has been built over Feni River, which flows between the Indian boundary in Tripura and Bangladesh.
And now moving on to sports. In wrestling, Indian wrestler Vinesh Fogart won her second gold medal in the Matteo Pellicon Ranking Series event and reclaimed the top rank in her category in Rome. The 26-year-old world bronze medalist Vinesh blanked Canada's Diana Mary Helen Beaker 4-0 in the 53-kilogram title clash. She is the only Indian women wrestler to have qualified for the Tokyo Games. In badminton, Rio Olympics gold medalist Carolina Marin of Spain defeated Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu 21-12, 21-5 in the women's singles final of the Swiss Open in Basel this evening. It was the first meeting between the two in over 2 years. Sindhu entered the final defeating fourth seed Mia Blinchfeld of Denmark 22-20, 21-10 in the semi-final yesterday. In men's singles semi-final, former champion Kidambi Srikanth lost to top seed Victor Axelsen of Denmark 13-21, 19-21. In men's doubles, world number 10 Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty also bowed out after losing 10-21, 17-21 to sixth-seeded Danish pair of Kim Astrup and Anders Skarup Rasmussen in the semi-finals. In European Hockey Series, the match between Indian men's team and Great Britain ended 1-1 draw at Antwerp in Belgium on Saturday evening. It was the third game of the four-match series. The next match of the series between India and Great Britain will be played on Monday. The Indian team played out a 1-1 draw against Germany in the second game. Earlier, world number 4 India crushed Germany 6-1 in the first match.
Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. Los Angeles Times reports that Minneapolis is on the edge as the first officer has been charged in the killing of George Floyd goes on trial. The Guardian writes that British ports say that they are not ready for Brexit customs checks. The Globe and the Mail reports that Saudi-led coalition strikes Yemen's rebel-held capital. It also writes that Iran releases British-Iranian aid worker Nazneen Zaghari Ratcliffe from house arrest, but a court summon is looming on the aid worker. The South China Morning News reports that dozens of Myanmar citizens gather at Indian border hoping to escape post-coup violence. The New York Times cites a scientific study to report that exercise can change how crucial portions of our brain communicate as we age and improve how the brain functions. A quick look at the headlines once again. India administers over 20 million COVID-19 vaccine doses within 50 days of launch of nationwide vaccination campaign. Guyana PM thanks India for providing COVID-19 vaccines. India and Germany celebrate 70 years of partnership. Indian naval ships Sumedha and Kulish arrive in Bangladesh ahead of the Swarnim Vijay Varsh celebrations to mark the Indo-Bangladeshi friendship. Pope Francis visits Iraqi city of Mosul. UN describes the visit as a symbol of hope. Indian wrestler Vinesh Fogart wins her second gold in Matteo Pellicon Ranking Series event, reclaims top rank in her 53 kg category. And PV Sindhu loses to Carolina Marin of Spain in the title clash of the Swiss Open badminton tournament at Basel. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Germany as the two countries celebrate 70 years of friendship.
Vaishnava Janata, Tenne
And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.